Hello cave dwellers, and welcome to this episode of Gaming Lore, where we look back at the part, big or small, that certain games played in the history of the hobby. It's hard to think that there could be any more to gaming lore in sports games than just the sheer number of titles released. But there are some hidden gems in the genre, and not least this one. It's Lynx 386 Pro by Access Software. A golf simulation released in 1992, Lynx 386 Pro owes its place in gaming lore, not just to the fact that it was a well-written game, but also very much to timing, and it was by no coincidence. Access Software were very well aware of the market at the time. The upgradable nature of IBM-compatible PCs meant that the technological progress on the platform marched on quite relentlessly. 16-bit personal computers such as the Commodore Amiga and Atari ST were starting to look a bit long in the tooth now, and Lynx 386 Pro was there at the right time to take advantage of all of these new technologies and make both owners of competitors' platforms and older PCs extremely envious when they saw the screenshots in magazines. But what were those technologies? You have to look no further than the box to find out, because Lynx 386 Pro is not shy in telling you. The first, of course, is right there in the title, 386. It's a reference to Intel's 386 processor. It wasn't a new processor, but it had become more affordable and was making its way into desktop PCs of the time. The game recommends a 33 MHz 386 processor, which is more than twice that of even the Amiga 1200 released in the same year. The next technology it shouts about is Super VGA. Taking advantage of modern graphics cards, the game rendered at 640x400 or 640x480 pixels in 256 colours, doubling the pixel density of the 320x200 resolution MS-DOS gamers were used to. And of course it supported all of the main sound cards of the time, hard disk installation, and made full use of the recommended 8MB of RAM. The marketing department have certainly done their job on the box, but what does it all mean in practice? Well, let's fire it up and find out, shall we? Here we are then on the tee, ready for our first shot. The mechanics of the game would be familiar to anyone who played a golf game at the time. The game didn't introduce anything particularly innovative on that front. It simply tightened up what we'd learned worked for the genre in the 80s. You choose your club, you take your aim, and then you swing. And your first shot is likely to go something like this.
Oh, it's in the deep stuff.
But with practice and perseverance, you slowly get your eye in, and, well, eventually, you can pull off a shot like this. But just like the sport, those moments are few and far between. The game demands a huge amount of skill to pull off shots like that consistently, as well as an element of luck. The high resolution graphics are of course the party piece of this game, but the engine itself is an iteration of Access's previous games. World Class Leaderboard and Lynx the Challenge of Golf were this game's predecessors, and they were held up as leaders of the genre at the time. Similarities can be seen in the way that World Class Leaderboard redraws the screen here. And the first Lynx game looks extremely similar, albeit in a much lower resolution, released in 1990. Golf games from competitors included many similar features, such as the 3D grid of the green here in PGA Tour Golf on the Amiga 500. And favourite features such as the action replay and reverse replay view were nothing new. So it would be disingenuous to say that Lynx 386 Pro redefined the genre on its gameplay and engine elements. We had seen it all before, but we'd never quite seen it like this. It was perhaps the closest we'd come to photorealism in our video games, and that's what people wanted. They wanted to see the power of their PCs be pushed to the limit. They wanted to get their money's worth for what they'd paid for. and of course they wanted to play good games. So the combination of what felt like a cutting-edge tech demo and great gameplay really did place this game in the right place at the right time. But don't think it came easily to the programming team using brute force and raw power. The whole game was written in assembly language to squeeze every last bit of performance available out of those Intel processors. Lynx 386 was certainly a social game long before we were all on the internet, and the best competition came from playing locally with your friends. Access did however promote the Computer Sports Network for online competitive play. This resulted in the 1994 Computer Sports Network Lynx Tour, in which 250 esports gamers, as we call them now, competed through dial-up modem access. It's no wonder then, given the quality of presentation, coding, gameplay and sheer desirability of having a system that could actually run the game, that it went on to win many awards, and not just awards aimed at sports games. Computer Video Game World awarded the game Best Game of the Year in 1993. Executives around the world demanded that their Office PCs be upgraded to a specification that coincidentally met the requirements of Lynx 386 Pro, and a generation of young video game players learned the rules of golf despite never setting foot on a course. Which is why I think Lynx 386 Pro deserves its place in gaming lore. The game that showed us that sports games can be more than just that. They can drive hardware sales and make a platform wholly more desirable than its competitors. They can push our expectations in presentation and photorealism, and they can just be damn good fun to play, even today, all these years after release. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content like this in future, and take a moment to share your memories of Lynx 386 Pro. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, cave dwellers.